ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Hello, good morning. Welcome and thanks for choosing to start your day on ADBN television. It's another day to keep you abreast with developments in the news and prominently the outcomes of the Edo election in which Senator Monday Okpebholo has emerged governor-elect. My name is Beto Bryan. I won't be doing this alone. I'm in the company of Chijioke Okafo. Good morning to you.
Well, good morning to you, Bito. It's a brand new Monday morning, and we're all set to discuss the Edo elections that rounded up over the weekend.
Very well then.
And good morning to you, our viewer out there as well. Before we come back and discuss the outcomes of the Edo polls, let's join Amma Marcus at the news desk to bring us up to speed with other developments in the news. Hello and good morning, Amma.
Hello, Chijioke. Hello, Bito. Good morning, and welcome to ADBN News at 7. We bring you the latest headlines from across the nation and the world. I am Amma Marcus. Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared Senator Monday of the All Progressives Congress the winner of the Edo State governorship elections. The reports say Senator Okpebholo received over 291,000 votes, defeating Asuwei Ighodalo of the People's Democratic Party, who garnered over 247,000 votes. INEC's returning officer for the election, Professor Farouk Kuta, announced Senator Okpebholo's victory at approximately 9 p.m. on Sunday, eliciting cheers from APC supporters at the Collision Center in Benin City. The APC candidate won over 10 of the 18 local government areas. However, the announcement of the result has been met with protests from PDP supporters who claim the results were fabricated and do not reflect the people's will. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated APC Edo governorship candidate Senator Monday Okpebholo on his victory at the polls. Senator Okpebholo was declared the winner by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. President Tinubu commended APC national leaders, Edo State leaders, and party governors for working hard to achieve the victory. He said the victory testified to the people's support for the ruling party, its progressive ideals, its economic re-engineering program, and its commitment to improving the lives of Nigerians. He urged Senator Okpebholo not to gloat over his victory, but to see it as a challenging call to service. President Tinubu also praised other candidates who participated in the election for their contribution to advancing Nigeria's democracy, saying, "Peaceful political contests such as the one on Saturday portrays the nation as a stable democracy." Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barau Jibrin, has hailed the victory of the All Progressives Congress in last Saturday's governorship election in Edo State. Senator Barrow, who is also the first Deputy Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, said the people say remains the most potent force in any democracy. He also commended INEC for upholding the people's will as expressed by their votes and the leadership of the national chairman of the APC, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, which has given the party more consistency and ultimately led to the party's victory in the election. The senator, while calling on the governor-elect to be magnanimous in victory, urged all those who contested the election but lost to lend their support in moving Edo State forward. Nigeria Police Force, through the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the election, Mr. Frank Mba, has unveiled a security strategy to ensure peace in the state. Force Public Relations Officer Mr. Lumiwa Adejobi, in a statement, said this came amid the tensions across Edo State over the possible winner of the election. He said Mr. Mba has ordered enhanced deployment in and around INEC facilities, key stakeholders involved in the election, and other critical infrastructure within the state. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force also called on citizens especially residents of Edo State, to remain peaceful and law-abiding while going about their endeavors. President Bola Tinubu has directed security and law enforcement agencies to intensify efforts in cracking down on individuals in possession of and trafficking in stolen vehicles. The president in a statement noted that one of the most effective tools available to law enforcement agencies is depriving criminals of the proceeds from their illicit activities. He acknowledged the recent handover of 53 vehicles and $180,300 by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police on behalf of 2 Canadian citizens who were victims of cyber crimes perpetrated by Nigerian nationals. The president demanded that the value of seized and confiscated movable assets be preserved for the state, society and victims in line with existing legislation and international conventions. President Tinubu reaffirmed that his administration remains committed to tackling money laundering, cybercrime and other financial crimes. Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima has arrived in New York to represent Nigeria at the 79th United Nations General Assembly. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu last week opted out of the trip to enable him concentrate on pressing state matters. He nominated the Vice President to represent him. President Tinubu, in a statement, directed the Vice President to lead the Nigerian delegation to the high-level global forum while he focuses on addressing pressing domestic issues, including the recent devastating flood disaster. He touched down at John F. Kennedy International Airport, where he was received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, Kashifu Inuwa, and other Nigerian diplomats. President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has extended his agricultural support to Uyo and Eket senatorial districts as part of ongoing Back to Farm initiative. The distribution took place at the Senate President's residence in Esienudem local government area of Akwa Ibom State, where leaders from Uyo and Eket senatorial districts gathered to collect supplies allocated to their communities. Representatives from local government areas within Uyo and Eket districts, including Ibesikwa Sultan, Itinan, Nseratai, Eket, Ona, Esereket, and Ikorobasi, expressed appreciation for the continued efforts of the President of the Senate in uplifting the agricultural sector. Comrade Tom Ukana from Ona local government area and Mrs. Helen Item of Mbo local government area, both from Eket senatorial district, commended the Senate President and his wife for the Back to Farm initiative, noting that the Senate President has consistently carried out good deeds for the people of Akwa Ibom. Mr. Nsikak Ukum from Ibesikwa Sultan local government area in Uyo senatorial district added that the fertilizer would have a significant impact in boosting agriculture in the state.
Nsikak Ukum, Ibesikwa Sultan local government area, and I want to say that this fertilizer that we've received here is going to impact on agriculture now that there's a program that is called Back to Farm program, and it's going to really change the narrative. We know that a lot of things have been happening in our society. People have been neglecting agriculture. And then with this fertilizer, we're going to boost agriculture in our LGA. It's coming from the Senate President, and he's doing a lot of things for us. And so this is one of the best things that he has done, sending this fertilizer to our local communities to ensure that the farmers get fertilizer to continue to farm for increased yield. For this gesture, it's not been happening like this. So he's a unique personality, and everything about him is always unique.
Also, a representative from Uyo senatorial district, Mr. Daniel Ime from Itinan local government area, applauded the Senate President for fulfilling the promise made during the APC flag-off event in Ikorekbene earlier this week.
Daniel Ime Daniel, the Itinan local government, from Itinan Federal Constituency. Uyo Secretariat District. I came here to collect fertilizer that the Senate President donates to the great people of Akwa Ibom State. The Excellency is a talk and do man. When he talks, he do it. He doesn't waste time. He said it on the that was on 18th of this month that we flag off our campaign. He mentioned it. Then today is 21, and he redeemed the vow that he made inside the stadium. And I don't know what to say again, but I want to tell God bless the Excellency, and God bless the people of Akwa Ibom State. This is back to farm initiative. So the Excellency is trying very well to bring this kind of initiative to the people of Akwa Ibom State. In those days, we were watching this kind of a thing in television. We did not know that this kind of a thing will come to Akwa Ibom State. So I am so much impressed. So I'm taking this fertilizer to the great people of Itina local government so that they can use in their different farming.
President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has harped on the need for continued peace and harmony in Akwa Ibom State, as peace is essential for the city to thrive. The President of the Senate, who was represented by his wife, Her Excellency Mrs. Unoma Godswill Akpabio, stated this during a special interdenominational Thanksgiving service held to mark the 37th anniversary of the state's creation and Nigeria's 64th independence in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Mrs. Akpabio called on the state governor to guide the state back to Christ to bring healing and restoration to the people.
Your Excellency, when we truly heal, then we can love. And when we love, then there will be peace. And when there is peace, then there will be prosperity. With God's mercies and compassion, these states will be free from its shackles. Your Excellency, congratulations on Akwa Ibom at 37. Congratulations on what you have achieved so far. May God bless you. May God bless our states. May God bless our country, Nigeria. May God bless our president, distinguished Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu. May God bless our Senate President, whom I'm representing here. May God bless all our citizens. And like I said before, Your Excellency, you are a fisher of men.
In his remarks, the state governor, Pastor Moino, while appreciating God for the pace of development in the state, reaffirmed his commitment to fostering peace and development across Akwa Ibom.
The joy we have today is that we can have all our leaders come together under one roof to worship one God. That is the message, and that is the truth. And we can see all other leaders here. Whether it's of any party, it's inconsequential to us. But the truth is, we share a common humanity. We share a common sense of service to our people. We share a common heart. Everyone is hungry when you are hungry. There's not one that says, because I am on this political party, I am not hungry. When everyone goes through stress, we all should stand by each other. And that is the real spirit of the Akwa Ibom. That is the what that our founding fathers did 37.
Still in Akwa Ibom, the state governor, Pastor Moino, has urged residents to embrace peace and tolerance regardless of political affiliations. Pastor Moino, while speaking at the interdenominational Thanksgiving service held at the International Worship Center in Uyo, emphasized that a harmonious society is crucial for citizens to fully reap the benefits of effective leadership. Akwa Ibom Government House correspondent Mary Oyemichi completes the report.
Joyous atmosphere in the International Worship Center as residents and delegates from various walks of life came together to thank God for sustaining peace ahead of the state's anniversary on 23rd September 2024. Pastor Umoino congratulated everyone on reaching this significant milestone, acknowledging that his administration's successes would not have been possible without your support and cooperation.
The joy we have today is that we can have all our leaders come together under one roof to worship one God who has created Akwa Ibom, whether as PDP or whether as APC, whether as YPP, whether as any other party. We are Akwa Ibomites first, and we are bound by the love of our people.
President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, represented by his wife, Mrs. Unoma Akpabio, lauded the State House of Assembly for amending the legislation to make the Akwa Ibom State Traditional Rulers Law rotational. She emphasized that the change has fostered significant unity and a sense of belonging among generations of Akwa Ibom children. She also conveyed the greetings of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the National Assembly to the government and people of Akwa Ibom State on their 37th anniversary, offering prayers for the state's ongoing peace, unity and prosperity.
Your Excellency, you're a man of God. And you know, and I know, that God Almighty preserves the godly. When you're a godly man, when you're a godly woman, don't be afraid of anything. God will preserve you.
Minister of State for Petroleum, Gas Resources, Obong Ekperikpe commended Governor Umoina for promoting peace and unity in Akwa Ibom State, emphasizing that the governor has implemented critical measures to tackle the challenges confronting the state.
I appreciate you for what you have done in Akwa Ibom State, taking everybody along, irrespective of political affiliation. I salute you for that. You are the governor at the moment like this, and I refer to you as a good shepherd for Akwa Ibom people.
Former governor of the state, architect Victor Arta, expressed his joy and admiration for the state's rapid growth and development since its creation. He also applauded Governor Umoina for his efforts in fostering unity within the state, highlighting this as a remarkable achievement.
Your Excellency, I want to compliment you because you have united Akwa Ibom. Nobody can ever think that this is a place that used to translate simple English news into 9 different languages. I congratulate you.
The guest preacher, Reverend Godwin Amaowo, admonished Akwa Ibom people to be grateful for the peace and the indices of good governance in the state, describing peace as a prerequisite for prosperity and development.
God has given us a man that believes in inclusivity in governance. Sir, God bless you in the name of Jesus Christ. Politicians learn from this man after 8 years. Sir, you will never take us back to Egypt.
The service featured choir ministration by Government House Divine Voices, Christian Association of Nigeria Mass Choir, All Nation Christian Ministry Mass Choir, and presentation of gifts by beneficiaries of the United Kingdom Exchange Program. Mary Onyemechi, ADBN News.
You're watching ADBN News at 7. Watch us on DSTV channel 258, on StarTimes channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. Stay with us for more stories after this break.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people they talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to Ona? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager and the bank executive, they are the one the government should first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Welcome back. You're watching ADBN News at 7. And now to report on the foreign scene. Hundreds of Tunisians protested yesterday against President Kais Saied, accusing him of deepening authoritarian rule and stifling political competition 2 weeks before a presidential election. Reports say protesters for a second week marched along Tunis's main avenue, a focal point of the 2011 Arab Spring Revolution. The protest came after lawmakers proposed a bill to strip the administrative court of its authority to adjudicate electoral disputes, a move that the opposition says would discredit the 6th of October election and pave way for President Saied to secure a second term in office. Political tensions in the North African country have risen since an electoral commission named by Saied disqualified 3 prominent presidential candidates, Manda Zaidi, Abdelatif Meki and Imed Daimi. The commission defied the administrative court and the highest judicial body in the election-related dispute and allowed only 2 candidates to run against President Saied. United Nations Secretary General Mr. Antonio Guterres has raised alarm over reports of a full-scale assault on the Sudanese city of Al-Fashar by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, also known as the RSF. United Nations spokesperson said Mr. Guterres called on its leader, General Mohammed Hamdan, to halt the attack immediately. War erupted in Sudan between the Sudanese army and the RSF in April last year, triggering the world's largest displacement crisis. United Nations officials have warned the worsening violence around Al-Fashar threatens to unleash more intercommunal strife. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said on Saturday the conflict will be on the agenda when President Biden meets with United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan today. Over to sports. Nigeria's coefficient in Africa faces a significant challenge as the country will be represented by only one team in the group stage of this season's CAF Interclub competitions. Enyimba Football Club of Aba, a 9-time Nigerian champion, secured its place in the group stage of the CAF Confederation Cup after a dramatic 3-2 victory in a penalty shootout against Burkina Faso's team in Uyo on Sunday. In contrast, reigning Nigeria Premier Football League champions Enugu Rangers were unable to advance in the CAF Champions League, losing 3-2 on aggregate to Angolan side. For Nigeria to field 4 clubs in next season's competitions, Enyimba must reach at least the quarterfinals of the Confederation Cup. Arsenal's manager Mikel Arteta believes his team made significant progress despite conceding a last-minute equalizer in a thrilling 2-2 draw against champions Manchester City in Premier League on Sunday. The London club played the entire second half with 10 men after Leandro Trossard received a red card in the first half stoppage time for kicking the ball away, having already been cautioned. Arsenal came agonizingly close to securing a victory after first half goals from Ricardo Calafori and Gabriel, who gave them a 2-1 lead. However, John Stones levelled the score in the dying moments of the match. Arteta expressed pride in his team's resilience in the face of adversity, noting they adapted exceptionally well to a most impossible situation for 56 minutes. That's it on ADBN News at 7. Remember to watch us live on DSTV channel 258, on StarTimes channel 140, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app. For more stories, visit our website on adbntv.com. Not forgetting, you can watch us live from every part of the world by logging on to adbntv.com/live. Thanks for joining the news this morning. I am Ama Marcus. Do stay tuned for continuation. Morning Express.
Well, thanks to Ama Marcus for taking us through our first major news bulletin this Monday morning. Be reminded that our flagship program has other segments lined up for your viewing pleasure, which shortly delve into a review of headline stories as captured on the front pages of both the local and foreign newspapers, after which would have a more robust discussion at 9 a.m. reviewing the outcome of the Edo elections as announced by the electoral umpire INEC, with the reactions of opposition, prominently the People's Democratic Party PDP, as they are calling for review of the results, rejecting the outcome from 3 local governments. Well, at 10 o'clock, we'd have our Abuja Sports editor Samuel Adeleke join the show for a review of some of the elite performances across Europe in the La Liga, with Barcelona opening a 4-point lead at the top of the log standings over Real Madrid. And in England, with the controversy surrounding the high-level clash between Manchester City and Arsenal, and the statement is issued the PGMOL. Well, it promises to be an engaging show this morning. Do also stay tuned to ADBN Television, as we'll be back after this time out to begin our conversation starter.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steve Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Prince Itek. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adibule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's TV season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas, I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Essie Odomata. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kuvala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now, you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Mwah.
Hey, Bobby.
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN,
Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
Step into the heartbeat of the world where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world's unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people they talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager and the bank executive, they are the one the government should first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Well, thanks for staying with us on Morning Express this Monday morning. Let's get straight into our newspaper review segment. We have a couple of papers this morning to review, but before we get into the dialogues, let's give you a quick overview of what the publications have as their headlines. Well, be reminded that these headlines are read out strictly as published and are not in any way a position of ADBN Television as regards these issues in the news. Now, the first half a dozen newspapers look at it from the angle of the electoral umpire INEC and the declaration of APC's Senator Monday Okpebholo as the winner of the Edo polls. I'll look at that and then I'll hand you over to Chijoke to take you through the reactions of the opposition party to the results. Now, I'm prominently captured on the New Telegraph, Leadership, First News, Daily News Hub, Daily Independent and Nigerian Tribune are the results as published by INEC and the editorial guidelines in the headlines. Let's look at this together. On the New Telegraph and Leadership, you'd find a similarity in that coverage, as the New Telegraph has the headline with the catchphrase Edo Guba. INEC declares APC's Okpebholo winner with 291,667 votes. PDP's Ighodalo polls 247,274, as Labour Party's Akpata garners 22,763. Now, away from that, on the New Telegraph, the Leadership newspaper has APC's Okpebholo floors Ighodalo, Akpata in Edo governorship. Scores 291,667 votes. PDP trails with 247,274. LP polls 22,761. Police walk out Obaseki out of INEC office. PDP governors kick. Tinubu, Buhari, others hail victory. Now, above that headline on the Leadership, you'd find a feature story. Council polls, APC clears Kwara, Imo seats. And beneath the masthead, current petrol pump price still driven by subsidy. Above the masthead on the Leadership, finally, DSS releases hashtag end bad governance protesters. Terrorists bomb 330 kV Damaturu Meduguri power line.
Well, thank you so much, Vito, for taking us through our first two papers of the lineup. In keeping with the developments from the Edo polls, let's take a look at our next two papers. The first newspaper, as well as the Daily News Hub, as they greet your screen. Now, on the front page of the First newspaper, you'd find the headline story: INEC declares APC Okpebholo winner of Edo governorship election. INEC declares APC Okpebholo winner of Edo governorship election. Straplines say triumph reshapes future of Edo's leadership. While Obaseki, PDP kick, supporters protest. Now, above that story at the very top, you'd find beside the masthead, inserted is a story still trailing the Edo 2024 gubernatorial polls. APC disgraces Governor Obaseki, defeats PDP in his local government area. Now, writer story on the front page of the First News says Tinubu welcomes APC's victory in Edo, commends peaceful conduct of poll. While another writer story says First Lady has distributed 4,800 bags of rice to vulnerable groups in Lagos State. Away from the First News newspaper, let's take a look at the Daily News Hub as we continue. Now on the front page of the Daily News Hub, starting at the very top, inserted beside the masthead, Edo polls. PDP supporters protest alleged results manipulation. While the major story headline in the Daily News Hub this morning says, Guba poll. APC displaces PDP in Edo as Okpebholo wins. Polls. Or APC displaces PDP in Edo as Okpebholo wins. Polls 291,667 votes to defeat PDP's Ighodalo and Labour Party's Akpata, while APC wins 11 local government areas. PDP won 7. Feature stories you'd find on the front page of the Daily News Hub. As seen on your screen, DIG denied PDP agents access to Edo Collation Center but granted access to APC, Governor Fintri of Adamawa State has claimed. While women protest in Kogi, accuse EFCC of witch hunting ex-Governor Bello. NDLEA arrests suspected drug trafficker at Kano Airport, while Istanbul Derby Osimhen shines as Mourinho's Fenerbahce falls 3-1 to Galatasaray. This is in sports. Now, away from the feature stories inserted to the right, let's take a look at what the writer's story here is saying as it reads. Edo Guba poll might be worst in Nigeria's election history, says Ighodalo. And how DIG ordered Obaseki out of INEC office. This is the story you'd find, all the stories you'd find on the front page of the Daily News Hub this morning.
Now, away from the Daily News Hub, let's pick up two more papers with focus on INEC and the result declaration in the Edo Guba polls. Now, on the Daily Independent and Nigerian Tribune, other angles to the story is published. Beneath the masthead on the Daily Independent, you'd find the catchphrase, Edo Guba. INEC declares APC's Monday Okpebholo winner of poll. Beneath that headline, you'd find PDP rejects results, alleges massive irregularities. Observer groups query authenticity of declared results. Tinubu congratulates Okpebholo. Lords electoral process. Victory shows confidence in Tinubu's administration, says the APC. Flawed polls signpost 2027 expectation, says stakeholder. The prominent picture in focus is a picture of the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, amidst the company of the governor-elect, and also Senator Asuko Ekpeong and others at the residence of the governor-elect in Benin City on Sunday. Now, on the right, aggressive fintech penetration takes toll on banks' fortune is the story. Crossing over to the Nigerian Tribune, you'd find a similarity in the catchphrase as well. Edo Guba poll. APC's Okpebholo wins victorious in 12 LGAs. Scores 291,667. Straplines read, defeats Ighodalo with 44,393 votes. PDP kicks, rejects results in 3 LGAs. Warns INEC on threat to democracy by declaring false results. Okpebholo's victory confirms people's acceptance of APC's ideals, says President Tinubu. Well, beneath that, you have more on the story with the accompanying results from the 18 local government areas, besides which you'd find the picture of the governor-elect, Senator Monday Okpebholo. Above the masthead are two feature stories. To your left, you have flawed, clear canals, drainages, gutters. FG alerts Nigerians. Displacement disease looms large in flood-hit Borno as government commences fumigation. Nigeria incurs losses as Chinese vessels hijack AFCTA trade.
Now, following the declaration of APC Senator Monday Okpebholo as winner of the just concluded Edo gubernatorial polls, which he won by a margin of about 44,012 votes. The People's Democratic Party are fuming, kicking hard against the results and asking for a re-election. Now, this story is captured on the front page of the Guardian newspaper as well as the Nigerian News Direct. Now, let's pick up these two papers as we continue. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, you'd find the headline story: PDP fumes, demands review as APC Okpebholo wins. Now, this story is accompanied by a picture of the three major contenders at the just concluded elections: APC's Okpebholo, PDP's Ighodalo, and of course Labour Party's Akpata, with the number of votes casted for each contestant at the elections inserted there. Now, rider stories you'd find on the front page of the Guardian newspaper: PDP kicks as APC clears local government seats in Imo and Kwara states, while refiners warns FX rate at 1,000 naira to $1 to reduce fuel price as Afeba Balola warns against monopoly. Probe billions of ecological fund awards to Borno, Serap tells President Tinubu, while Ohaneze urges Tinubu to replace underperforming ministers. Most politicians, not politics, are dirty, says former President Olusegun Obasanjo. And Borno faces health crisis with over 230 health facilities destroyed. And finally, cholera claims 21 lives in Adamawa and Katsina states. Now, away from the Guardian newspaper, let's take a look at the Nigerian News Direct. On the front page of the Nigerian News Direct, inserted beneath the masthead, it starts off with the catchphrase in red: Edo 2024. Opposition kicks as INEC officially declares Okpebholo winner. Straplines say announce authentic results from polling units to avert crisis. PDP warns APC and INEC. And PDP backs Governor Fintri of Adamawa State, alleges manipulation of result. AAC condemns INEC's conduct, calls for protests or for mass protests. Now, this story is followed by a picture inserted on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct, that of Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Lucky Ayedatiwa, Governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma, Edo All Progressives Congress APC Deputy Governorship candidate Dennis Idahosa, and the APC Edo State gubernatorial winner now, Senator Monday Okpebholo, Governor of Kwara State, Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, and Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, in Edo State recently for the just concluded gubernatorial elections. Now, let's look at some stories making the rounds in the news on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. Above the masthead, you'd find youth employment, Africa's economic growth, top Elumelu's agenda at UN General Assembly 2024. Transnational car theft. Tinubu orders crackdown, commends EFCC for returning $180,000, 53 vehicles to Canada. While PDP queries Kwara local government election results amid violence, allegations of fraud. And on issues of insecurity, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has said, "We will get Bello Turji. It's a matter of time." Now, these are the stories you'd find on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. The Punch newspaper still captures stories making the rounds about the Edo polls. Now, it starts off with the pictures of the three contenders of this election inserted beneath the masthead. APC leading with 291,667 votes, while PDP coming up as a runner-up in the elections with 247,274 votes. And finally, Labour Party with 22,763 votes. And continues with the headline story, Edo poll. PDP alleges rigging as APC Okpebholo wins. Straplines say PDP governors insist candidates won. Obaseki vows to seek redress. Ighodalo rejects results. And Tinubu congratulates Okpebholo as Akpabio, Oshomole, Shuaibu. APC supporters jubilate. Above the masthead, stories are saying that fresh tariff hike looms as monthly power subsidy hits 181 billion naira. And Atiku backs anti-Damagum NWC members in the internal crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party. MPC may lower interest rates come Tuesday. Now, you'd also find inserted on the front page of the Punch newspaper, 1 year after, Tinubu yet to appoint ambassadors for 109 embassies. This is according to a report by the Punch newspaper found on news page 7 of this paper. While you'd find on the rider, LP crisis, Abure faction rules out sanction for Obi. Oyo mob beats soldier over alleged killing of NSCDC officer. And DSS frees 6 hunger protesters to arraign 3.
Now, while a good number of the newspapers this morning reiterate the result as announced by INEC, our next 2 papers have in their editorial possible views as to how the results came to be in the favor of the APC candidate, Senator Monday Okpebholo. The Daily Times and Standard Times capture this in their headline stories. Let's look at them together now, shall we? On the Daily Times, you'd find the catchphrase, Edo governorship poll, why APC's Okpebholo triumphed. PDP kicks, alleges irregularities of coalition process by INEC. Irregularities were very apparent, extremely scandalous, says Azigbemi. Tinubu Ganduje congratulate Edo Governor-elect Okpebholo. Well, beneath that headline story inserted are feature stories. NDLEA intercepts 16.1 billion naira opioids in Lagos. Investors on edge as delay in Sukuk saving bonds payments raises concerns. Climate finance by multilateral development banks hits record $125 billion in 2023, according to a report. And on the rider, Tinubu orders crackdown on cyber criminals, transnational car thieves, commends EFCC for returning $180,000, 53 vehicles to Canada. FG announces contactless passport renewals for Nigerians. Now, on the Standard Times, you'd find in the headline another editorial perspective with the caption, Edo, how APC's candidate Okpebholo won Obaseke's candidate Ighodalo. PDP kicks. INEC reacts to Obaseke, Ighodalo's unexpected visit to Collation Center. PDP governors alleges irregularities of collation process. Irregularities are very apparent, extremely scandalous, says Azigbemi. Now, on the rider, you'd find more stories of interest. Nova Bank appoints new executive directors. Edo, observer groups fault collation process. NBS set to rebase. GDP, CPI in November. 17 ISWAP fighters drown while crossing river in Yobe. Police arrests 21-year-old scavenger for desecrating graves, stealing iron rods. Tinubu orders crackdown on transnational car thieves in Nigeria. And lastly, Abia government transparent in distribution of palliatives, says Onukuru.
Well, moving ahead, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commended the people of Edo State as well as security agencies during the just concluded Edo polls for the peaceful conduct of the elections. He has also hailed the victory of the All Progressives Congress candidate, Monday Okpebholo, for the win in the elections. This story is captured on the front pages of 3 papers, the Nation newspaper, the Metrics, as well as the Daily Trust newspaper. All have similar stories talking about the president's comments. Now, as they greet your screen, I'll take the Nation newspaper first as we begin on this particular section of newspaper reviews. On the front page of the Nation newspaper, you'd find the headline story. Okpebholo's hard-won victory returns Edo State to APC fold. Tinubu, victory challenging call to service. Now, Obaseke and PDP cry foul. I'll take that again. Tinubu has said victory is a challenging call to service, while Governor Obaseke and PDP cry foul. Other stories you'd find on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Let's start at the very top above the masthead. DJ Kopi makes history as first British Nigerian to host UN General Assembly's opening session. Says she is passionate about quality education for young people. Now her picture is inserted there on the front page of the Nation newspaper at the 79th UN General Assembly. Elsewhere, federal lawmakers return to firm up council autonomy process. Federal lawmakers return to firm up council autonomy process. These are the stories you find on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Quickly crossing over to the metrics, let's start off with the Edo 2024 election story. How Okwebolo won keenly contested battle. Scores 291,447 votes. Igodalo 247,274, while Akpata won 22,763. Don't gloat over victory. See it as challenging call to service, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said. Go to court, President tells aggrieved candidates. Buhari, others congratulate Okwebolo. Shuaibu laughs last. We must condemn this rape of democracy. Fintry fires. Don't resort to violence, destruction of property in spite of this provocation, Governor Obaseki has told the people of Edo State. Now, above that headline story making the rounds in the news, you'd find stories around flood alert, where the federal government has issued fresh directives as it raises alarm over increasing water levels at critical stations along River Benue, while Vice President Shetima departs for UN General Assembly in New York. Tinubu tasks police, EFCC, customs, others to end transnational car thieves and cyber criminals. While Nigeria and Libya explore plans for 5,600 kilometers gas pipeline project. On the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, let's start with stories beneath the masthead as Serap urges Tinubu to probe ecological funds spent by the Borno State government, and Israel orders 45-day closure of Al Jazeera West Bank office. Zulum raises committee to disburse donated funds following the devastating floods in Borno State. And major story on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, APC's Okwebolo wins Edo governorship election. Straplines say that PDP rejects results. Obaseki calls for calm. Votes buying, disruption of collation, Mars polls. And Tinubu, Buhari, Barrow hail own party's victory. This story is followed by inserted pictorials of celebrations and jubilations following Monday Okwebolo's declaration as winner of the Edo polls. And also inserted there is an infographics showing the order in which the three top contenders of this election won votes in the 18 local government areas in Edo State. Now, these are the many stories you'd find on the front page of Daily Trust newspaper. On the rider, you'd find cholera kills 12 in Adamawa, while military denies detention of Nerval Rating for 6 years, as Katsina celebrates 37th year anniversary today.
Well, in crossing away from a majority of newspapers this morning that seem to headline the developments following the conclusion of the Edo Gubo polls, one of the newspapers not mirroring a political situation but looking at our energy issues in the country is the Business Day. On the front page of the Business Day this Monday morning, we look at the tensions as it turns to our gas reserves in Nigeria. Now, this is as the NNPC is turning to brass and the Olukola LNG projects as inertia now costs over $30 billion. Let's look at the story on the Business Day together. Now, the headline is Nigeria late to gas party as inertia costs $30 billion. Beneath that, you'd have a prominent picture of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in a handshake with multinationals, looking at boosting the Renewed Hope agenda's drive towards foreign direct investments.
Well, moving away from the Business Day newspaper, let's take a look at the Vanguard newspaper as the Lagos State Government and Dangote Refinery are disagreeing over parks and call-up system for their trucks. As this paper greets your screen, I'll read out the headline story as well as other stories making the rounds in the news. On the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, let's start off with the headline story. Edo, how Okwebolo floored Igodalo with 44,012 votes. A new Edo is rising, Governor-elect says. Okwebolo wins 11 of 18 local government areas. Igodalo, 7. Akpata, none. And PDP cries foul, backs Governor Fintri, insists Igodalo won. CSOs express concern, say collation disruptions affect results credibility. Now, above that story and above the masthead, other stories of interest you'd find. Marketers optimistic of lifting Dangote petrol directly as scarcity persists. While federal government frees 6 of 1,400 #NBAD governance protesters. Remi Tinubu's 64th birthday. Khan urges federal governments to fix bleeding economy. And splashed in red above these three stories, President Tinubu orders crackdown on cyber criminals, transnational car thieves. Feature stories you'd find on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Lagos government and Dangote Refinery disagree over parks call-up system for trucks. Now this is in Lekki, Lagos. And Afebabalola to the federal government allowed Dangote sell petrol at lower rates. Interestingly, in sports, you'd find Barty Joshua hints at Dubois rematch as Hen confirms rematch clause, followed by a picture of Dubois as well as Anthony Joshua at the recent match where the British-Nigerian boxer lost to Dubois. These are the stories you'd find on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper.
Well, thanks to Chijoke. That's about the size of the overview on what the local newspapers have as headline stories. Now, we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll look at the fine margins following the outcomes of the result in Asian West, where the APC urged it by just an acre, to the likes of Asian Central, where there were quite wide margins. But overall, 12 out of 18 local government areas, as won by the APC, has been greeted by a rejection by the PDP, claiming that there were some irregularities in 3 local government areas particularly. We'll look at comments from the observer groups. We'll be joined by an in-house analyst to broaden the scope of the discussion, and we're hoping that you too, should you have been in Edo over the weekend to cast your vote, can join in on our social media handles and on our YouTube channel to lend your thoughts to the conversation. We'll be right back to dig into all of this. Stay with us.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people they talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an evocative program that touches the core of our existence.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends iTech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adibule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller. My name is Nanrade Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's TV season.
I'm Miss Stems.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas, I am Jimmy. You can call me the entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sobi Kuvana.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch that dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN. Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
Step into the heartbeat of the world, where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world's unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN
channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Well, thanks for staying with us on the program this morning as we look to discuss the issues as highlighted by the newspaper headlines, or also capture reactions to the results as announced by INEC. Now, this morning on the program, before we get into discussing all the talks about irregularities, the opposition kicking against the results, the acceptance of the results by the APC, and more on the comments from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu congratulating INEC on the conduct of a peaceful polls. We'll also take a listen to a video as released by the outgoing governor of Edo State, talking about Governor Obaseki, who has called for calm and urged Edo people, be you disgruntled or be you in favor of the result, to refrain from destroying public infrastructure. We'll take a listen to that comments as made by Governor Godwin Obaseki, and then when we come back, we'll look at some of the fine margins as the results were announced yesterday. Take a listen.
My dear good people of Edo State, in the last few months, the various political parties have embarked on very rigorous campaigns to sell their respective candidates for the office of governor to the people of Edo State, in an exercise which came to a climax yesterday. The attractive thing about democracy is the power it bestows on the people to choose who governs them. Therefore, when this power is blatantly seized from the people, it is not just a tragedy, but a travesty of democracy. Regrettably, the outcome of the September 21st governorship election appears to have daunted the spirit of many Edo people who feel powerless in the face of the brute force of the institutions that are supposed to protect them. It is therefore understandable that many people feel sad and aggrieved. But in the midst of this despair, I'm urging all my fellow Edo citizens to maintain calm and not resort to violence and the destruction of property in spite of this provocation. Peace and justice will always win at the end, and this is my prescription to all the good people of Edo State who feel vexed and violated at this time. Clearly, it is obvious to the least discerning the amount of impunity and reckless disregard for processes and law that was displayed in this gubernatorial election. In a democracy, there are always safeguards for addressing grievances, and we hope that all those affected will seek resolution for this blatant disregard of law and process. With this in mind, I implore all Edo people to go about their lawful businesses and rest assured of the commitment of our government to your well-being and security. God bless the people of Edo State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now, there is the speech as released this morning following the declaration of AEC Senator Monday Okpebholo as the governor-elect in Edo State. The outgoing Governor Godwin Obaseki has called on the good people of Edo State to exercise calm while refraining from public disorder. But then again, Chijioke, he made strong claims there, talking about mass de-enfranchisement of Edo people who he presumes are vexed by the outcomes of the results.
Well, certainly in any election like this, where it's hugely and keenly contested for, you'd find that the losing side would always claim fairness in the election results. I mean, if it was the People's Democratic Party candidate that won, certainly the APC would have been in the position of Governor Obaseki at the moment, claiming unfair and unequal election results. So you will certainly expect something like this. However, the electoral umpire itself, INEC, was vexed with Obaseki's visit to the collation center. The APC party agents were also aggrieved by his visit to the collation center, where they said he did not need to be there for any reason at all. I mean, if anyone had to be there, it should have been the PDP party agents and not the governor himself. So he shouldn't really be crying foul at a time when there are other fingers pointed at him over what he did during the collation period of the election results. So at the end of the day, it's just like what the president said while congratulating APC's Monday Okwebolo. You know, he told him that victory is a call to service, and on the other hand, also told aggrieved PDP supporters to go to court if they are not comfortable with the outcome of the election. So at this point, all they have to do is just to go to court, because the election result has been announced.
Well, it's safe to say that a lot of persons were looking at the Edo polls in line of the PDP's refusal to sign the peace accord. And it must be said that despite the claims of irregularity, one commendable outcome from the polls is the fact that it was peaceful. There were no incidences of violence or any record of demises of voters, whilst there were also no outright intimidations of voters. And commendably, the anti-graft agencies said that they were on their toes alongside the Nigerian police force, apprehending those who were perceived to be conducting in vote buying. Now, the role of post-tribunal matters following the conduct of elections will also come into view, much like we saw on some of the headline stories earlier. Let's revisit a few of them just to give you more insights as to the fine margins in some states. Many had talked about how much the Labour Party's candidate, Olumide Akpata, would play a role in the election, splitting the margins that would have been needed by the two major parties. The Guardian is gracious enough to give us infographics in that regard. The Guardian this morning uses a pie chart and shows us the percentages that yielded the total votes. Now, looking at the Guardian inserted there, you'd find that infographics with the 4% is taken by Labour Party's Akpata. Now, note that the margin between the APC, which polled 52% of the votes, as against the 44% by PDP, should the Labour Party's Olumide Akpata have withdrawn from the race, as a lot of persons were urging him to, it might have been keenly contested to the point that only but 6% might have decided the outcome of the winner. In numbers, what that means is a 44,000 plus margin that decided the polls in Edo. It doesn't come keenly contested as this, but the APC seems to still have a lot of issues with the results. Now, going forward, it will begin the hearing for post-tribunal matters, the time allotted by the electoral umpire INEC to get the certified true copies from the polling units, which a lot of Nigerians, I'm sure our viewers are also privy to, were on X showing some irregularities in certain polling units where you have a total number of registered voters standing at 400. Some of the results came out with accredited voters way beyond 400. I've seen a couple of those tweets, and I'm very sure that when we get into our broader discussion, we'll look at some of them. But the main issue on ground now is the people of Edo having a voice beyond the elections and how much they feel that they were allowed to exercise their franchise.
Well, Bito, the last time we were on this on this show, it was on Friday. We were together and having a discussion with our in-house analyst here, and I raised the issue of the Beavers and the IREF, and personally, I think that when people sort of have trust in the IREF to be able to monitor these election results as the votes are being casted or as being counted, then certainly if there is any irregularity and it doesn't tally with what the IREF has shown, then there needs to be a review, as the People's Democratic Party opposition people are calling out for. But at this point, it's all in the hands of the electoral umpire to have a review of this, like you mentioned, in a place where there are about 400 registered voters, and then you have way a higher number of accredited voters. Certainly, this sort of disparity would raise eyebrows in the outcome of the results. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't see a reversal of this result. I mean, it's not new in Nigeria. The opposition will always be aggrieved. It's common in any race, especially a heated political race like this. And with what has happened, let's hope that the governor picks up the mantle of leadership and delivers the dividends of democracy to the people of Edo State. Now is not the time to cry over spilled milk, but rather to work all hands on deck and ensure that Edo State sees the lights of democracy.
Now, joining us to review the results as published by INEC from Asian West all the way to Oredo local government area is a man himself who has been in the capacity of election observation from the People's Reporter. We're now joined by Honorable Desmond Olariwaju Fowobi, who joins us virtually from the nation's capital, Abuja. Hello, Honorable Desmond. Good morning to you. Can you hear us?
Good morning, people. It's good to be with you virtually this morning.
Now, very quickly, let's get your thoughts, and let's start from the part of a peacefully conducted polls. A lot of commendation we're seeing across the major headlines this morning, going to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and with the declaration of a governor-elect. How would you rate the conduct of the Edo governor polls?
You know, like I always say, and I've always maintained, that our election umpire, INEC, still have a long way to go. And we'll get to that time where we can describe our elections to be credible, to be fair, and to be just all concerns. When the Nigerian people, especially those who have been employed, invited to be part of the process, the police, the ad hoc staffs, the commissioners, and everybody involved, including the party agents, have decided that they are going to make our election. But until that time, we'll keep working it. We'll keep, because we cannot describe the election in Edo State to be perfect or to be the best. It's still work in progress. If you were part of the elections yesterday, there are quite a lot of complaints here and there. Election may not have been violent. It may not have been orchestrated or marked with a couple of pockets of violence here and there. But that is not to say that the election is the best. There are people who complain of lack of materials even as at 11 a.m. As at 10:30 a.m. in units and all that, there were a series of complaints of the arrival of election materials. So, for me, the people, because sometimes it might not be completely an INEC fault, sometimes it could be the party agents, it could be logistic problems, it could be police, it could be security to guarantee the safety of these staffs that are conducting the elections. So, but the Nigerian people in total to understand that, for me, I do not know why our elections cannot be the best. INEC have over 4 good years to plan a Edo election, but still we couldn't get the best from this election. I can't really relate this problem to one thing or the other. Here, elections have come and gone in Edo State. I know that there are going to be some people who are going to walk into the courtroom to seek redress or dissatisfaction over the results. But so far so good. Monday, Senator of the APC, and then when we have statement from the PDP be seeking redress in court, election has come and gone in those states, and the APC candidate has been declared winner. But the election, we thank God that there was no record of killings here and there and pockets of violence everywhere. That is not to say that there were no some instances of violence, but so far so good. It is a work in progress. But I hope maybe in the next year, the next time that we're going to have an election of this nature in Ondo, it will be somewhat better than this.
Well, Honorable Desmond, let's talk about the Labour Party candidate Olumide Akpata, who won by a margin of just 4% in the election. And just as much as principle, the Labour Party presidential candidate in the just concluded elections, Peter Obi, won by a similar margin in the presidential elections. Many people, asserted that perhaps he's just a disruptor in the bigger scheme of things in the election, and now Olumide Akpata or just sliding by with 4% of votes in the total number of votes casted. Do you think that perhaps the Labour Party has been relegated to just a disruption kind of agent or party in the elections that are holding in Nigeria?
Well, you can't say that Shijuke. It will be fair to the Labour Party and its supporters that at least among all the political parties we have in the country, they are finding their way into the political landscape, and they are part of the fundamental statement in our electoral system. The Labour Party presence is actually disrupting status quo. Before now, elections have always been between the ruling party and the opposition party, and for so many years, for 24 years, have been between APC, PDP being the ruling party for 16 years, and ACN and some other parties. Then, with the amalgamation of ACN, CPC, and AMPP, so we now have PDP and APC that have been in our electoral space for many years. But with the coming of the Labour Party, is now giving some young Nigerians the opportunity to participate in the election process. Now, what you're seeing, the 4% you're seeing, are the people who have not been voters. They have not been irregular voters. And that is to tell you more about the Nigerian society that you are seeing. That Nigerians are the people who vote in Nigeria are conservative people. The Nigerians who vote in Nigeria, they are either members of APC and PDP. The 4% you're seeing from nowhere, they are the new people or the new order of the day, people who have been introduced into the election system. And this is to tell you that the Labour Party still have a huge task to do in terms of civic engagement and mobilization of the Nigerian people. You could remember some few weeks ago, election was conducted on the internet. Online election was conducted by different platforms in respect to Edo election. And surprisingly, interestingly to everyone, won the elections. And that is to tell you that the or who believe in the ideology of the Labour Party, but they are not the regular voters. They are the new people. They are the Gen Zs. They are on the internet. So Labour Party needs to convert these virtual followers to physical followers, to offline followers. This is a good thing. The fact that Labour Party is there is a good thing. So the Labour Party will capitalize on its strengths and see how it can make some huge investment, huge commitments in mobilizing Nigerians from the virtual world into the real world, and emphasize on the importance of not just registering our voice, our support on the social media, but we need to come out of social media to save this country physically. But I'm not saying the Labour Party are just, but a lot of people who supported this party are the young people. And that is to tell you that we have a serious problem in Nigeria. a country with a youth population standing tall, 70% of the country's total population make up of young people. You find out that these young people are not interested, so to say, in understanding the democratic process and getting actively involved in elections and politics.
Well, Honorable Desmond, you mentioned that the Labour Party are quite strong online. Does this confirm the assertions of many Nigerians, especially supporters of the APC and PDP, that perhaps Labour Party is only an online, political party and doesn't necessarily have strong ground rooting in grassroots politics?
Yes, that's true. That's a fantastic assertion, and the prediction is very correct. They are very strong because if you look at the demographics of most of the people who supported this party, who have been following this party, they are majorly young people who are recently involved themselves in political and leadership issues because of some of the trends on the internet. They are not the original voters. Let me tell you, this country is a very funny country. There are a set of people who vote in Nigeria. Most of our educated people, most of the educated Nigerians, most of these young people you see, they don't even have voters card. Some of them who have voters card, they do not have the interest in leaving their comforts to election polling units to cast their votes. It will interest you to know that you see those motto pads, those who are the motto pads, so we call them the good boys, the handbills, the market women, and some of these jobless artists that roam around the streets. They are the people who vote. They are the people who vote. They are the people who are involved in the electoral process. You see these educated young Nigerians, all the people shouting on the social media, those people complaining, lamenting, they don't even understand that they come out of their shell and be actively involved in electoral process. So their assertion is true that the Labour Party, and that is a fact, they do not have strong base outside the internet. So the party officials and the good Nigerians need to mobilize more young people to come out of the social media, to come out of the virtual world into the real world and be part of the leadership selection in the country.
Now let's come to the PDP, and that's the second issue in the news. Before you joined in, we took a listen to Governor Godwin Obaseki's press release following the results as released by INEC. The PDP is quite disgruntled with the results in 3 local government areas, and they're calling for a review of the results published by INEC. Does this set a precedence of election petition tribunals that might be coming in the coming weeks, in your perspective, or what does this do for the opposition in Edo State?
Definitely, you would expect that the ruling party and the PDP went into this election with strong belief and optimistic that they are going to win this election. So the surprise is a shock. This result is a surprise and a shock to not just the candidates but also the party officials. But then that tells you more about the role that internal conflict can cause to a party. You know, there are so many things that people underestimate that could injure, that can cause or major injury to outcome of results. Like the current crisis of leadership in PDP has contributed. Like I told you earlier, there are only few people who vote in this country. And most of them, sorry to say this, you have to pay them for their service. And these people who decide who governs us in the country, some of them are not learned. Some of them can be, their bent of reasoning can be persuaded or judged Their judgment can be persuaded with just little amount of money. And those are the people who make decisions for us in this country. And you see, about 5 APC governors were present in Edo State. You know what that means? It means that naturally they will be getting boys. They will be getting those boys, settle those boys, pay those boys to do extra work to for the election. If PDP leadership have put their house in order before now, mobilize governors, senators down to Edo State, and then they will do the bidding also of buying voters, because this is vote buying. They buy voters to vote for them, and they will be able to close that gaps. Naturally, we will expect that there will be disgruntling, there will be complaints, and there will even be steps or moves to approach the tribunal. So in the next few days, expect that from the PDP.
Well, Honorable Desmond, do you see any light at the end of the tunnel for the People's Democratic Party, considering the statement from the President, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, asking disgruntled PDP supporters to go to court if they are not satisfied with the outcomes of the elections in Edo?
Your guess is as good as mine, Shijuke. I want to tell you that it is good, you know, the court is the last hope of the common man. But in this case, the PDP, they are not common man. They are one of the strong men of the country. So we expect that they will go into the court to seek redress. But then, whether their complaints or prayers will be answered or given hearing, or their prayers will be granted by the court, by the appeal court, it all depends on the basis or the strong evidence, substantial evidence that will be coming to, substantive evidence that will be coming to the court with. So, if they have a strong case, fine. The court is expected to be fair in its dealings and judgments. So it is not something I can sit here in my comfort room and tell you that they would, yes, the court will be fair to listen to the PDP complaint. But whether the court will grant their prayers, it all going to depend on the quality of evidence and strong case they are going to be making in court. So I don't know what will be the outcome, but what I know is that the court will be willing to listen to their complaint.
Now let's move on to the third item in the news this morning on how we look at it from the angle of federal might. Edo State has now been returned to the center. The APC has emerged with the governor-elect position, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is particularly congratulating the electoral umpire INEC for a peaceful conduct of the poll, but more so in terms of the party dynamics and the influence of the APC now in Edo State. How much of a symbolic outcome is this?
Well, let me tell you, what has happened in Edo State tells you more about sense of direction around political leaders. You see, APC won this election is not on a platter of gold. APC worked for this. I tell you, APC worked hard to get this victory. It's not just about the number of governors that were deployed. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of agencies, there are a lot of head of agencies, there are a lot of politicians who have been part of this government, who have been appointed in one way or the other, that have been given the mandate to go to Edo State and deliver that state by presidency. I was in some offices last week. I wouldn't want to mention names because camera did not show their presence in Edo State. But these are head of agencies, head of CASAs that have been given the charge to go back to Edo State and deliver that state. And you can see those who face the camera. You see some governors that came out, you know, to support the APC candidates Monday. See, one thing you need to understand, the current crisis of hegemony, leadership, between Wike and some party members have been responsible for the loss of PDP. PDP needs to find solution to their problem with the suspension of Wike, because this is causing a lot of distractions in the state. You cannot be sitting on a gunpowder and expect to have peace. PDP is having internal crisis. Even you will expect that APC will win the election. If you look at some of the indicators and some of the factors before this election, like, look at how the whole thing started. When Shuaibu, the deputy governor to Obaseki, made his intention known to the governor that he was going to contest for governor. And then there were some dramas that greeted the state that led to the impeachment of Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu. Even when it was reinstated by the court, the governor of the state refused to honor judgment. Apart from that, Philip Shuaibu is a strong force in the state. Don't forget that Obaseki and Philip Shuaibu, they were formerly members of the APC. So this dynamics is expected. What you saw, or what we see in just concluded election yesterday, there are a lot of things that have happened in the recent weeks before the election that have shown strong indicator that the APC will eventually win the election. One, from internal crisis within the PDP, and PDP losing its strength every day. And some of the propaganda that happened couldn't save the PDP. The governor is not well read. The governor, it's not. Election is beyond that. Nigeria has not gotten to the level where people think critically about their choices of leadership. What plays out in election in Nigeria right now is about understanding the terrain and mobilizing all solutions, all effort to ensure that you find solution to those dynamics and indicators. And that was what the APC have done, considering the federal mind has played out, the defection of some members, Shuaibu leaving the party, PDP, to support APC has also contributed, and having strong member of Asiwaju team going to Edo State to deliver the governor also has played a major role. So it is expected, Bito.
Well, Honorable Desmond, you spoke about the internal crisis rocking the PDP, and we saw that it seems like the only top dog in the People's Democratic Party that was outrightly supporting the PDP candidate in the Edo polls was the governor of Adamawa State, Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri, who has been quite vocal about the election results alongside Governor Godwin Obaseki as well. And we were expecting to have seen the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike there to show his solidarity and support with the PDP candidate, but that didn't happen. And other PDP stalwarts as well did not show up to rescue or deliver their mandate to the people of Edo State and the PDP.
I was equally expecting to see the Minister of FCT, Barrister Wike, with his strongholds, interest in holding the political structure, wearing strong political influence, and being an influential party member. His presence, if Wike had traveled to Edo State, his presence alone would have, to Edo State, his presence in the state alone, being the Minister of FCT and being one of the strong supporters of PDP, his presence in Wike would have helped not just to mobilize himself, he would have went ahead to mobilize some strong governors in the South, being one of the leaders of PDP in the entire South. And southern part of Nigeria is where you have more numbers of PDP, South, precisely, where you have more number of PDP governors. So if the leader, the so-called leader, who has been wrestling to get the leadership of the PDP, had made himself available in Edo State, it would have helped to serve the situation. because it's all about buying and selling. And you know, the honorable minister is very, very popular when it comes to influencing voters. You know, he has that magic, reverse magic. He would have done some magic in Edo State, which would have given the Edo State PDP candidates some level of soft landing and maybe victory. But its absence in Edo State has caused major injury to the party.
Well, in less than a quarter of an hour to go, let's look at some of the prominent issues in the news away from the Edo politics. It's on the position of the supply chain with regards to PMS. Earlier reported on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, the Lagos state government and Dangote refinery are in a bit of disagreement over parts and the pull-up system for loading of trucks. Lagos has over time been a predominantly driven economy owing to tax generation, and with the largest single train refinery over 650,000 barrels capacity per day situated in Ibeju-Lekki, it's also of a concern on how best Dangote can benefit from the Lagos state government to make the loading of these trucks more easier and the onward delivery of refined PMS to other parts of the country even more affordable for Nigerians. Does this news come as a surprise to you? What would you prefer to the Lagos state government Dangote refinery in terms of managing this very fragile relationship?
There will be more issues in future. Like I told you, our governance system or leadership response system has been reactionary and not proactive. If you look at the Dangote refinery, where it's seated in Lekki Free Trade Zone. Lekki Free Trade Zone is located at Ibeju-Lekki axis, and that axis is shared boundaries with Aja axis and Ekpe to the east of Lagos. So to that, look at the roads that connect Ijebu-Ode, Ekpe, and Lekki. It's a very tiny road. Thank God to the intervention of a former governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, who did a little bit of expansion to that road. You are going to have more crisis in loading of this PMS. Supply of PMS, not because of its availability, but inflow of these trucks from Lagos to Lekki to Aja, from Aja outside Lagos, is going to be more confusing. It's going to be more crisis if we do not put in place a permanent solution. Like I heard that they are planning to have a deep sea port at Lekki there that will make the government move or help Dangote in moving some of these PMS allied to some other farm towns or to some other places like Tinkan Island and all that. So, but the best approach would be expand of the road to dualize the road at least 4 lanes, as well as have a thinking of having connecting the railway at Jibo in mainland, Ebute Metta, can connect the train that can start carrying cargoes, that can start carrying some of these petrol products from that Lagos axis, so that we can have similar supply of this PMS to other of the country. In future, by the time these Dangote refineries will be working at capacity, I tell you, it's going to be a nightmare in that axis, considering the current level of challenges in trying to get into Lekki, either from Lagos, from axis, or from Ikoyi, or VI, or from Third Mainland Bridge. It's going to be a very big deal. Or from Ikorodu, and you know that the Ikorodu road is also very bad at the moment. The road, Ikorodu road is very, very bad at the moment. So government needs to look for more creative way with Dangote to see that they do not make life very hard to the people living in that axis because of gridlock and because of the pressure that these petrol tankers will be putting on that axis, as well as supplying of these areas to those who need it across the other 36 states of the country. So the federal government the state government and Dangote refineries, they need to have a closer look and of a better option, either to consider using the seaport or use the train, connect the train, or expanding the road. The government needs to look for more creative way to solving that problem.
Well, Honorable Desmond, I like how you highlighted either the use of the deep sea ports or the use of trains in transporting this petroleum product, which isn't really an option that the Nigerian government and the energy sector has considered in quite some time now. But Dangote Refinery seems to have been facing a lot of bottlenecks since its inception. Do you think that perhaps maybe a more viable solution will be this train option that you mentioned? And how soon do you think, if implemented, can Dangote Refinery start using trains in order to export petroleum products to other parts of the country?
It's all about interest by the federal government, state government. You see, our system, our governments always devote so much energy in politics, politicking for the interest of very few people, and not considering the poor masses, the large number of the Nigerian populace. That has always been a challenge. Most of our policies in many years before now has not been people-oriented, people-centric. They have been for the interest of only few rich people. We see that government of Nigeria has always prioritized the capitals. They have always prioritized the rich places, the highlight places of the country, neglecting development in the rural area. And that is why the government has not thought ahead ever since this project started, whether in 2020 or 2022, so to say, or 2018. The federal government, the state government are supposed to have been working collaboratively to provide this solution, because there is no quick fix to connecting Lekki Axis with the Jibo railway. It is not going to be very easy. And don't forget that the train, the light train and the train facility that is in place in Lagos State is not connected to Jibo. The red line is not connected, it has not been connected to Aja Axis, that it can easily be connected to Dangote refineries. So it's still going to be a long time solution. So the quick solution that the government can look at right now is the deep sea, because the Lekki after Dangote is sitting close to the ocean, Atlantic Ocean, which if federal government made some appreciable amount of investments, it can easily activate this policy, and the road too cannot. It's not something you can solve within few months. The option right now is to activate the deep sea, the deep sea ports, and that is the easiest way right now to solving this solution. Why we look for the long-term solution, which is what? Connecting the railway.
Now, many would have expected that the Lagos State government would have borrowed a cue from the situation at the Apapa Wharf and the traffic congestion that has greeted that, especially with the coming on board of the light train and the Blue Rain projects in Lagos State for human movement. There seems to be a dedicated cargo rail line project in Lagos, as it were, as an alternative route for some of this heavy cargo to include PMS and all that. Don't you think that the Lagos State government, under the leadership of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, should be taking this as a priority owing to the situations of road infrastructure across the state?
Definitely, that will be the next line of thought for Lagos State government. I told you, it is a general problem in Nigeria that leaders or governance in Nigeria does not think ahead. And that is what led us where we are today, or put us in the mess that we are. Government don't think. It's so true that our government don't think ahead. Rather, government always reacts to some of the social challenges. So the reactions, I know the reaction that we feel, some of the gridlock you're going to be experiencing at that Lekki Axis as a result of the issue that you're going to be having from the tanker trailers, would definitely cause Lagos State to start thinking. I'm very sure when it is wrong, Lagos State responds very well. You know, it is the mega city, one of the richest states in sub-Saharan Africa. So you will find that definitely Lagos State will respond positively in considering activating the cargo railway. So in the next few months, years, as they run to this challenge, just look out and watch out for the cargo railway. I know people think of that, but just that they have not thought of it before now, because government style in Nigeria is that they wait problems, they wait until when something is a crisis before they look at or think of providing solution to them. So in the next few months or weeks, we'll see that Lagos State government will consider a long-term solution to this problem, because Apapa has been a nightmare for many years. That particular road was shut down, and you cannot afford to shut down Epe, Aja, Lekki Expressway. It's not going to work. So the best thing to do now is to activate the cargo railway and the deep sea port.
Well, we must thank you, Honorable Desmond Fowobi, for taking our time to join us this morning, view certain headlines in the news. We do appreciate you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, then we'll move on to our next segment on the show, where we review headline stories as published on the foreign newspapers and tabloids to give you an insight into the world around you, particularly in terms of foreign news stories. That will be our next case on the show this morning, but we'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll also revisit this issue in the Edo election, more broadly from the technicality as to how the aggrieved parties can make their case at the tribunal, and other takeaways in terms of improvements in the use of technology as deployed by the electoral umpire INEC. Do well to stay with us.
Welcome to the Niger, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation. It is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place. This is the Niger Delta, a land of a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ENTV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends ITech. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adibule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanrade Duro, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Ucheoba.
It's Tobe season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas, I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sabi Kuvala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial.
Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch that dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
Shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now, you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
Ah! It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to the weather forecast. We expect to start Monday with early morning thunderstorms to parts of Borno, Adamawa, Taraba, Sokoto, Zamfara, and Kebbi. Otherwise, sunny skies with patches of cloud is expected across the remaining parts of the north. Thunderstorms and rains are likely across the central cities, extending to parts of Oyo, Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, and the stretch of the coastal cities. Intermittent rains and thunderstorms are expected to linger into the afternoon and evening hours over the south and the north central cities. Thunderstorms are also expected over the northern region, but the intensity is more to the western axis as compared to the east. And that's our bit from here.
And you're welcome back to Morning Express. Now to continue in our program, let's turn our attention to some stories making the rounds in the news on the foreign scene. We'll be taking a look at some publications, some tabloids and newspaper publications on the international scene. The Daily Express, the Daily Mail, the Daily Mirror, as well as the Financial Times will be our first four papers on the lineup. Now, that being said, let's pick up the first two as we begin. On the front page of the Daily Express, you'd find the headline story, Even Labour's union backers want fuel cuts scrapped. Pensioner protests aims to shame Stammer into U-turn at party conference. Now above that, you'd find the story, Why was Monster Al-Fayed not prosecuted? An exclusive call for inquiry. Well, this is an exclusive story captured in news pages 8 and 9 of the Daily Express newspaper. Moving away from the Daily Express, let's pick up a copy of the Daily Mail together and have a brief overview of the headline stories there. On the front page of the Daily Mail, headline story says, Now Rena hires £68,000 vanity photographer. Deputy PM bills taxpayer for new staff member to burnish her image as Tories demand probe into her New York holiday. Now Angela Rea is billing the taxpayer thousands of pounds for a vanity photographer to boost her image. The Mail can reveal the Deputy Prime Minister, who has been mired in controversy over freebies from Labour donors and could face a sleaze inquiry, has risked a fresh term by appointing the personal photographer on a salary of £68,000. And elsewhere on page 13 of this particular paper, so why was Lineker so interested in downfall of BBC rival? To find out more about this story is captured more elaboratively on news page 13 of the Daily Mail newspaper. Crossing over to the Daily Mirror as we continue on the front page of the Daily Mirror, still staying in the UK, Labour war on tax cheats. We will get your money back. Chancellor's new task force to target dodgers and the missing billions. Labour war on tax cheats. We will get your money back. Chancellor's new task force to target dodgers and the missing billions. Now in sports, Stone's Cold thriller. Chaos is Man City and Arsenal clash. See more of this story on the Daily Mirror newspaper. And these are the many stories you'd find there on the front page. Quickly crossing over to the Financial Times, let's have a different view. On the front page of the Financial Times, you'd find inserted there a picture of some soldiers depicting the war in the Middle East, and it's followed by a caption, "War warning, Middle East clashes step up." A member of the Israeli security forces stands guard at the site of a Hezbollah strike in the Kiryat Bailik near Haifa yesterday, while the pro-Iranian movement mounts a show of defiance at a funeral in Beirut. Major story headline in the Financial Times newspaper this morning says that European steelmakers press Brussels to tackle a flood of Chinese exports. European steelmakers press Brussels to tackle a flood of Chinese exports. Straplines say Beijing subsidies blamed. Price driven below cost of production and plea for comprehensive tariffs. While Ryder on the Financial Times, Reeves to deny plan for austerity after criticism of Labour's gloomy rhetoric. Now, Chancellor Rachel Reeves will today attempt to counter claims she has been talking the economy down, telling the Labour Party conference there will be no return to austerity and insisting her budget next month will have real ambition. These are the many stories you'd find on the front page of the Financial Times. Away from the Financial Times, let's look at the Australian newspaper, where miners battle for IR darkness. Now, as it greets your screen, I'll read out the major headline story as well as other stories making the rounds in the news. On the Australian, we start off with the story saying resources giants unite in test case. CEOs warn dangerous precedent risks 70s style strife, and miners battle IR darkness. This is the major story you'd find on the Australian. Now inserted there is a picture of Anthony Albanese and the US President Joe Biden at the Quad Leaders Summit in Wilmington, Delaware. This photo was captured recently. It's accompanied by a caption, "Give us Palestine treatment." Taiwan's plea to Wong as Biden calls out bellicose China. Another story to the left side of this inserted picture, housing crisis hits Labour votes. Now, primary support for Labour has dipped to the party's equal lowest levels since the 2022 election in the wake of a heated political contest over the government's stalled plan for housing, which has emerged as the most significant cost of living concern for majority of voters in the UK. In Catholic school clash fight, Quad's lame duck leaders silent in face of Beijing threats. And elsewhere, Aboriginal police sue over racist culture. Moving away from the Australian, our next two papers on the lineup will be the Daily Telegraph as well as the Guardian, as we look at other stories making the rounds in the news in the UK, the US as well as Asia. Well, on the front page of the Daily Telegraph, let's start off with a headline story beneath the masthead. Reeves, UK must accept hard times or risk ruin. Chancellor's warning on economy comes as unions prepare to vote against winter fuel cuts. Now, also inserted there is a picture of Angela Rayner, pictured outside the Labour conference in Liverpool yesterday, who stayed in Lord Ali's £2.5 million New York flat as Rayner faces the Nation investigation. Stories you'd find inside the Daily Telegraph. Autumn ready, or Tim Stanley, brace yourself for Corbyne's revenge. While Poetic Justice, why I said no to Kamala Harris. If you want to find out more about this story, it's captured on the inside of the Daily Telegraph. Sir Kerr is in trouble with his own party. An editorial by Kamal Ahmed. Now, other stories you find on the front page of the Daily Telegraph. 1 million people wrongly classed as too sick to work. Now, up to 1 million people have been wrongly categorized as too sick to work when they are willing and able to get a job, according to an analysis in the United Kingdom. Christian wins payout over Quran preaching and the headphones that could save your ears, while NHS warning over winter triple-demic. Hezbollah rockets skirt Israel's Iron Dome, and in business, Labour to unleash 4 million homes on Green Belt. Now let's pick up our last paper on this lineup, the Guardian newspaper, as we round up this particular segment of international newspaper reviews. On the Guardian, you'd find the headline story beneath the masthead. Labour to investigate 600 million euros COVID contract given under the Tories. Chancellor to announce move in bid to fight back amid questions on ethics. Chancellor to announce move in bid to fight back amid questions on ethics. And Hezbollah enters battle of reckoning with Israel. These are the stories you'd find on the front page of the Guardian newspaper.
Well, thanks to Chijoke for giving us a brief overview of what the foreign newspapers have as headline this Monday morning. Be reminded that we have an in-house program dedicated to an insight to the world around you. Global Digest takes the air at 3 p.m. later today, where you can get more in-depth views into the Labour gas moves, the reform for the NHIS, and more broader perspectives in line with the Hezbollah Israel-Hamas situation. Well, we'll take a short break right now, and when we come back, we'll take a more in-depth look into the outcome of the Edo Gubwe elections, with some celebrations as captured by users on X, a visit to the palace of the Oba of Benin, and broader perspectives as to what the PDP says is its next line of action following its disgruntlement over the results as announced by INEC. Stay with us.
Welcome to the world where innovation meets opportunity, where ideas become empires. This is Market TV.
I am Idorian Flannan, and every week I'll be taking you inside the dynamic world of marketing and commercial business.
From groundbreaking startups to big businesses, Market TV brings you the best pricing and latest goods on display.
It's all about understanding your audience and staying ahead of the trends.
Witness the creative processes that drive the various brands.
Join us as we dive deep into the strategies that shape the commercial landscape. From streets to traditional advertising and social media, we cover it all.
Whether you're a seasoned professional or an aspiring entrepreneur, Market TV provides the insights you need to thrive.
This show gave us the tool to turn our vision into reality.
So, if you're ready to master the market, tune into Market TV every Saturday at 6 p.m.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope, Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on ADBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steve Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Priya Coco. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the queen of Zambian media.
My name is Grand Friends. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adibule. I'm an actor and a filmer.
Hello guys,
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Lanradi Dura. I'm an actor.
Hi, my name is Ucheoba.
It's TV season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi, ladies and girls, moms and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the Entertainer.
My name is Essie Odome. I'm an actor and a film producer.
My name is Obi Kuvala.
Hi. My name is Julius Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
This is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBNV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is to be. And you're watching ADBN.
Shout out to
ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN, keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN.
And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Ah! It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people they talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk now? What will be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good, we see good, and when we know say we not dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, mother, deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager and the bank executive, they are the one the government to first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Step into the heartbeat of the world, where news meets real talk. Breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones. Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join Nancy Banigo on Softline as we lend up to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just meant as an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Welcome to Forecast. We expect to start Monday with early morning thunderstorms to parts of Borno, Taraba, Sokoto, Zamfara, and Kebbi. Otherwise, sunny skies with is expected across the remaining parts of the north. Thunderstorms and rains across the central cities, extending to parts of Oyo, Ondo, Osun, and the stretch of the coastal cities. Intermittent rains and thunderstorms are expected to linger into hours over the south and the north central cities. Thunderstorms are over the northern region, but the intensity is more to the western axis as compared. And that's a bit from here.
Welcome back to Morning Express. Now let's give you updates following the aftermath of the Edo Guber polls, and in our studios are some of the reactions by Nigerians, particularly those in Benin City, following the declaration of APC Senator Monday Okpebholo as the governor-elect. We'll take a look at a video that has now gone viral, and after which we'll also look at other emergent videos following the visit to the Oba's Palace, and the Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio also lending his thoughts. He was very instrumental following the campaigns alongside other APC party stalwarts in Benin City. He was in Benin all through the weekend and is just about departing Benin City here. We'll take those videos as they greet your screens. But to start with, it's the atmosphere in Benin following the announcement, particularly those who were watching along, much like every Nigerian on TV while INEC was collating the results. Chijioke.
Yes, well, certainly the people who followed online, I for one, I followed online, and one thing I can tell you is that in as much as a lot of people expected the top two contenders, APC and PDP, to have produced a candidate or a winner in the election, I felt the APC supporters were calm in such a way that they already knew that their candidate was going to win, and the outcome was just as expected. I mean, I wouldn't want to say who I thought would win, but let's just say that what people of Edo went to the polls to do is exactly what INEC delivered to them.
Well, I'm very sure a lot of viewers would agree with Chijioke. The APC seemed calm. It was the PDP led by the governor of the state who made attempts to visit the collation center where INEC was still putting the results together. But INEC turned him away. That also generated some controversy online. But this video is the one we're talking about now. Following that declaration of Senator Monday Okpebholo, it was quite a frantic party mood in most parts of Benin City, particularly in the camp of the APC. Take a listen. The celebration.
Boza! Boza! Boza!
Well, notably in that video, the governor-elect is announced by INEC, the president of the Senate as well. A lot of persons were keenly watching out for where the FCT minister was and his reactions, and a lot of memes are greeting the online space as to his reaction when that video was announced. He's neither here nor there. What an enviable position to be in, though. But then again, let's look at some of the aftermath in terms of the visits that heralded this announcement. The Palace of the Oba of Benin, and if you're familiar with the Nigerian folklore and the ceremonial symbolism of the Oba of Benin, especially following pre-colonial antecedents, it is important that this traditional stool has remained one to reckon with. And so the elected political officers felt the need to pay homage to that revered traditional stool. Take a listen. Now, this footage is taken following the announcement of Senator Monday Okpebholo as the governor-elect in Benin, and you can see notably there at the Palace of the Oba of Benin, party stalwarts of the APC led by the president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and other eminent political juggernauts. Well, it almost feels like a party. You can see your good friend, Senator Adams Oshomole, in some sort of a celebratory dance there.
Certainly, and quite notably, you could also see the former Deputy Governor, Philip Shuaibu, whom many believe should have been in the position of Monday Okpebholo, considering the fact that he had made his position or his intentions to run for the governorship seat known to Governor Obaseki, which was the genesis of the rift between them that led to his impeachment as deputy governor. But of course, in one spirit, he's here to celebrate with Senator Okpebholo, who is flanked by the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, as you can see him greeting your screen, and also greeting the Oba of Benin alongside Adams Oshomole and some other APC stalwarts and leaders as well, who accompanied the newly elected governor to the palace of the Oba of Benin. Quite a huge celebration here. Now, Bito, many people would argue that just as much as the Oba of Benin is, aligned towards the APC party, it appears as if the Esama of Benin is inclined towards the People's Democratic Party, and it's creating some kind of disparity within the Benin Kingdom and the Edo people.
Now, the rule of traditional fathers, especially from the perspective of being apolitical, has been underscored in the given times. And when it comes to this said division, in terms of what the Benin people perceived is an allegiance of a superiority of political party lineage by these two key traditional positions in Benin City, it's important to note that in governance, after the elections, I think the people's votes are the ones who choose who they feel should be the elected governor, but it's more on the synergy of the traditional rulers to ensuring that at the grassroots there is a lack of divide amongst the Benin people in terms of where they are leaning. Now, it is important to look at the 18 local governments as well. 12 of them, as reported by INEC, won by the APC, and is almost in the cliche statements of majority carries the vote, which we're seeing come into play. Well, we'll talk more about this in reaction to what the Benin people feel is the outcome, and if it is indeed the voice of the people. But let's also see if we can take a listen to the president of the Senate, who almost representing the federal might in Benin over the weekend, was most vocal and all through the election period by the sides of the APC candidate who has now emerged victorious shortly before departing Benin City, heading back to Abuja to resume some other duties. Senator Godswill Akpabio did address the media, and if we are certain we have that connection now, we'll be taking a listen to his speech and how he rates the outcome of the election.
He has been able to add one additional governor and one additional state in the South to the fold. And I do know that within minorities, the hope of every indigent of the South region is to be linked to the center.
This guy's head in the shots.
Belong to the center. And we are particularly grateful that this current administration of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, through the party, gave us the opportunity to produce the Senate President, and by implication the number 3 citizen of Nigeria. So we can't disappoint them. And the only way for us to express our happiness is to support the party. And yes, there's a lot of hardship in the society now, occasioned by years of misrule and policies in the past that affected the economic fortunes of the country. And we keep pleading with our people to be patient. A lot of incentives are being done now. Palliative measures are being taken. We still have issues of income because you have to balance it. You don't have foreign exchange to which against the fall of the naira. It's very difficult. It keeps falling. But we are working on it. We have trillions of debts left behind. The government is paying a lot. But of course, nobody will recognize that or give kudos to the government until everything is eliminated. But I do know that the president is strenuously trying his very best. And I'm sorry that Nigerians have to pass through the hardship of the fuel increase. But I know that with Dangote refinery coming on stream, that the fuel prices will drop and Nigerians will be happier. I've launched the Back to Farm initiative to ensure that food is available to all the households in my senatorial district and in my state. And I want to urge other senators and members of the National Assembly to follow suit. The distribution of fertilizers, farm implements, and other incentives are meant to assist us to get back to the farm so we can feed ourselves. There's no country that can boast of greatness unless that country can feed itself. I'm very hopeful that there's a ray of light in the horizon. It has started today with the Edo has joined the center. And I pray that all South states will still need to follow suit.
Okay. Before we let you go, sir, if they say the reward for hard work is more work, and with the elections just in the open, in what way can you leverage the APC leverage on this success to also make a showing in the next elections?
If you saw the local government rally that was done by the APC, you will know that it's not a function of whether they are going to vote APC. It is not a function of whether the APC is on ground. It's a function of what will be announced. We are still having difficulties with local government elections all over the country. And unless we tinker with the process of electing local government officials, we will not truly give autonomy to local governments in the country. So I'm very certain that if elections were to be done tomorrow, the APC will sweep the state. You saw it with your eyes. But what do you think will be announced? So I've told them to get ready to go to court. Happy New Year.
Well, the motorcade of the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, departing Benin City, headed to the airport and expected to arrive in the nation's capital, Abuja. He was speaking with ADBN correspondents Achinonu Temple and Caesar Kopona in Benin City, who were there to monitor the election. And listening to him, Chijioke, he almost ties it to a responsibility for the APC now that they have an additional governor under the party who is saddled with the responsibility of delivering the dividends of democracy to Nigerians in line with the ideology of Renewed Hope agenda. He, much like the president, has once again called on Nigerians to be patient, whilst the effects of these policies look to shape Nigeria into the Nigeria we all hope for in terms of an easier cost of living for Nigerians.
Well, certainly, like he rightly mentioned, he's the number 3 citizen of the country, and from the number 1, which is the president, to the Senate president, I mean, they're all APC card holders, and the dividends of democracy that the Senate president had mentioned earlier in his speech, that they intend to deliver to Nigerians as a party and as leaders as well, most certainly trickle down to the people of Edo State. And now that they have a new party, a new dispensation on board, away from the 8 years of political dominance by the People's Democratic, or 4 years of political dominance by the People's Democratic Party in the state. Let's just look ahead and see what the APC holds in store for the people of Edo State. And at this point, it's safe to say that perhaps the people of Edo should set aside party differences and ensure that what stands at the forefront of activities in the state is the collaborative effort towards bettering the state and ensuring that they place Edo State on the map as one of the most performing states in Nigeria in terms of infrastructure projects and human capital development as well.
Well, we'll take a quick weather break just to remind Nigerians of the need to be mindful of the weather in the coming days. And when we come back, we'll be joined by our guest analyst, Comrade Richard Romanos, who was in our studios on Friday for a build-up to the elections and is now back for a debriefing and to get his final thoughts on the outcome and the implications for the broader political landscape. Stay with us.
Welcome to the weather forecast. We expect to start Monday with early morning thunderstorms to parts of Borno, Adamawa, Taraba, Sokoto, Zamfara and Kebbi. Otherwise, sunny skies with patches of cloud is expected across the remaining parts of the north. Thunderstorms and rains are likely across the central cities, extending to parts of Oyo, Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, and the stretch of the coastal cities. Intermittent rains and thunderstorms are expected to linger into the afternoon and evening hours over the south and the north central cities. Thunderstorms are also expected over the northern region, but the intensity is more to the western axis as compared to the east. And that's our bit from here.
Well, thanks for staying with us on the program this morning. A lot of commendations has come in for the electoral umpire, INEC, but also for the Nigerian police force, who made several arrests in the conduct of the elections to ensure that there was no voter intimidation and no record of violence in the elections. Now we have a result as announced by INEC, but let's also make to accommodate a man who almost seems like a political octopus, who had predicted that the APC had quite the better standing owing to a fracture amongst the governorship support for the PDP candidate in the elections. Now joining us in our studios this morning is Comrade Richard Romanos. Good morning to you and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Bito. Good morning, my brother. It's good to be here.
Well, it's good to have you back in the studio, and I can see you laughing already about the outcome of the result. Congratulations to the APC candidate, Senator Monday Okpebholo, and also congratulations to you. Kudos to you for rightly predicting the APC as the winner of the election.
Well, should I say thank you?
Thank you is just
I mean, for me, nothing unusual actually happened. I had always known that that the result we had in Edo was what was going to actually be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now people are looking at it from the angle of federal might. The number 3 citizen, APC senators almost spent the entire weekend, despite having concluded the campaigns and rally in Edo State until the result was announced yesterday, before a lot of them are looking to depart Benin City. Do you think that this solidarity quite largely influenced the choices of the voters at the poll, or is it a testament to the people's belief in which political ideology would help the Benin people achieve the Edo of their dream?
Well, not at all. What I basically think about what the likes of the Senate President and a few others were doing in Edo is more or less what the Adamawa State Governor, Maru Finitri, yes. The Governor of Plateau,
Caleb Mfwang.
No, not Plateau, Taraba. What's his name? The Governor of Taraba. Yes. Yeah. And then what was the other governor's name? I think there were 3. In what the Senate President and his colleagues were there to do is exactly the same thing the PDP guy, the PDP governors were also there to do. Basically, in solidarity, with their various parties, But sincerely, I see nothing like federal might in those elections. For me, my thoughts about that election is, let me use an illustration. If you have ever been to, where a butcher, where you see a butcher,
like an
abattoir, butchering whatsoever he has on his this thing, whether cow, good. That was exactly what happened in Edo. Politicians in Edo, saw Saturday, the 21st of September,
yes,
as an opportunity to take their pound of flesh from Governor Godwin Obaseki. So like a butcher, they placed Obaseki on his this thing, and everybody was just taking their own part of. Everybody was
as a form of revenge.
As a form of revenge. That was basically what happened in Edo State. Let me tell you, politics. The last time I was here, I told you politics is local. If you be one of the biggest politicians in your state, on the day of election, you relocate back to your village, back to your ward, back to your local government. Do you get?
Yes.
What happens in the next person local government? What happens in Chijoke's local government? What happens in Bito's local government is no longer your business. What is important is your local government. What is important is your ward. Deliver from your ward first and your local government. Do you understand? Now, in Edo State, the people who have what it takes to deliver this local government, who were there with, is the question. Who were there with? This man, the governor of Edo State, like I said, carried on in the last 4 years as if he was never going to need anybody's support to put in a successor.
I mean, not even the leaders of the PDP.
Not even the leaders of the PDP were with him. The people he was supposed to make friends and allies, he made foes. He made enemies. You can imagine that you went into primaries. Somehow you were able to get a good man. Yeah, that's why Godalo is a good man. You got a Godalo to be the governorship flag bearer. All you needed to do was appease other aspirants, including your deputy. He has the right to contest. But what did he do? What did he do?
He fought him.
He fought him and impeached him. As if he doesn't matter.
And now, from the footage that we saw of the visit of the Senate President alongside Adams Oshiomhole Monday Okpebholo and other APC stalwarts, Philip Shuaibu was present there, and it appears as if he might have a rethink about his movement to the APC.
Let me tell you, the last time I was here, I told you guys that you can take every other thing away from Philip Shuaibu. Philip Shuaibu is a politician. And again, you see this thing called politics. Most people take politics as their profession. Politics is literally their profession. They wake up, talk politics. Everything they do, they sleep and eat politics. And the likes of Philip Shaibu are in that category. Yeah. You know, hence, whatsoever they do, whatsoever political calculation, whatsoever permutations, you know, the whole, you know, will always almost come true, you know. And that was exactly what happened in that election that time. Now, one of the things I have noticed again in politics is that people, if you come from a community, you come from a ward, people will always rally around one of their sons, one of their daughters who seem to be very close to the source. Yes. Do you get? So that it is believed that if they support that their son, it is that their son, since he is the one that is close, that will bring and it will trickle down to them. Exactly. So very often it is not about whether you have done one project there or done one project there. Those projects will not speak for themselves. It is the people in that place where that project is that will say it is our government that did this. So a situation where you don't have those kind of people in those places, who speaks for you?
Certainly no one.
Certainly nobody. So in this case, that was exactly. See, sincerely, I don't even believe that election was rigged.
Now let's talk about some of the reactions whilst the results were being collated. Now, out of 18 local government by Apata, but whilst those results were being collated,
my dear good people of Edo State, in the last few months, the various political parties have embarked on very rigorous campaigns to sell their respective candidates for the office of governor to the people of Edo State, in an exercise which came to a climax yesterday. The attractive thing about democracy is the power it bestows on the people to choose who governs them. Therefore, when this power is blatantly seized from the people, it is not just a tragedy, but a travesty of democracy. Regrettably, the outcome of the September 21st governorship election appears to have daunted the spirit of many Edo people who feel powerless in the face of the brute force of the institutions that are supposed to protect them. It is therefore understandable that many people feel sad and aggrieved. But in the midst of this despair, I'm urging all my fellow Edo citizens to maintain calm and not resort to violence and the destruction of property in spite of this provocation. Peace and justice will always win at the end, and this is my prescription to all the good people of Edo State who feel vexed and violated at this time. Clearly, it is obvious to the least discerning the amount of impunity and reckless disregard for processes and law that was displayed in this gubernatorial election. In a democracy, there are always safeguards for addressing grievances, and we hope that all those affected will seek resolution for this blatant disregard of law and process. With this in mind, I implore all Edo people to go about their lawful businesses and rest assured of the commitment of our government to your well-being and security. God bless the people of Edo State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now, Governor Godwin Obaseki citing the safeguards for aggrieved political actors to vent their aggrieved perceptions of the results, and many would think is insinuating that they will be heading to the tribunals to express their grievances. It almost feels like a characteristics of the Nigerian elections, post-election tribunal matters. Do you see the PDP taking that line in this regard?
Of course. I'll be very surprised if they don't go to court. They will always, in Nigeria, I have noticed that nobody actually believes he or she has lost in an election until, you know, what gives them that confidence about the court is that they always believe that they can possibly maneuver their way, you know, and get a favorable judgment, you know, in court. So I'll be very surprised if PDP does not go to court. But
going to court when people cite the instance that he lost in his own local government area among some of the 3 local governments which the PDP are calling for a rerun in, how much does that speak to the way the people in Edo State perceived the state under the last administration of the PDP? Maybe,
if you ask me, it is basically going to be a face-saving move, you know. If you ask me, the thing is that Obaseki, Governor Godwin Obaseki, what happened to him today, you know, was basically his creation. He called him for himself, you know. If he was able to manage certain people, manage certain
particularly his deputy.
Governor Obaseki had issues with both politicians within and outside his state. You know, and just like the analogy I gave to you guys here, it was that day was the day where politicians ganged up and everybody had to extract their pound of flesh, you know, from him.
I mean, some statements were made by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as well as the President of the Senate, following the declaration of Monday Okpebholo as winner of the elections. And, you know, they unanimously said that anybody who isn't satisfied with the outcome of the election can go to court. Is this a dare, or is this just a statement of, well, you can do the same thing that you have been doing to, or the same thing you've been doing to others is now being done to you? Is that the situation we're looking at?
Well, I think, of course, what else were they supposed to tell them? The court is the only way, is the only place they can advise people like Obaseki and co. to go to. You know, so for me, I will also join in saying let them go to court. Let them go to court if they are not comfortable with the result, you know. But I also read somewhere where somebody said, or the president said, it is also the result is also the reflection of Nigerian susceptibility. Well, I don't think I agree with that.